Welcome back. And just in case if you're just joining us right now, this is On the Spot. Now, switching focus to golf and matters to do with golf. The future looks bright for golf lovers in Kenya. This is according to Peter Kirugu, the Kenya Golf Chairman. In our one-on-one with Mr. Chairman, he highlights the past, present, and the future ahead of a Safaricom Golf Tour Grand Finale. UTV. What is the current status of golf in Kenya, and what does the future hold for golf?
The current status of golf is we are still in a development process. We are trying to put up programs to develop golf in Kenya, particularly to the juniors. And the way I see the future of golf is that with initiatives that we have put in place, we should be seeing more and more golfers increasing the current from the current number we have today, say 7,000 members, and to see it go somewhere around 10,000 golfers.
Talking about developing junior golfers, what is the role of corporates in golf?
The role of corporates are very, very important because they are actually our sponsors. They sponsor the golf events. They also sponsor golf development. They support us with kits for kids. They also help us to pay for all the financial needs that we require to develop golf.
Let's talk about Ladies European Golf Tour that was recently just concluded in Vipingo. Does it bother you that it was only one professional golfer that participated in that event? Does it bother you as a chairman?
It bothers me very, very much because we need to have more lady golfers playing. We had only one lady golfer and one amateur. Their performance wasn't very good, which actually bothered us. And we look forward to where we will have more ladies playing golf because with the kind of junior programs that we are looking at having both boys and girls. And the issue about 1/3 is not something that we are taking in golf. In fact, we want equality in golf where we have an equal number of girls playing. So going forward, we will see many more girls playing golf in a competitive environment.
Okay. So what are some of the lessons that you have learned there in Vipingo going forward that you'd like to change?
I had an opportunity to watch some of the professional players that are playing. Some of them are turning pros at the age of 16 years, and that is basically what we'll be wanting to have in Kenya. And for that to happen, we have put programs here, as I said before, where we will have children, juniors, starting to play golf from the age of 4. And the program we have at the moment is from the age of 4 to about the age of 18. So we will be seeing many more, and we are looking actually forward to for the next seven years or so, say around 2030. We expect to see a major impact in the play of golf in the country.
Kenya Magical Golf Open is just a couple of days away. What should we expect?
As usual, this is a European tour event, and we have top-notch players that are coming here. In as far as Kenya is concerned, we are putting our local pros. We have gone through a very rigorous golf practice with them, and we expect them to have an impact. At least we expect to have at least 3 of them making cut. We also have 6 amateurs who are from the amateur ranks. We have 4 senior amateurs and 2 juniors. We also expect that at least we'll have 1 of them making cut.
Muthaiga Golf Club will play host to this year's Kenya Magical European Golf Open. What does it mean for the club?
It is quite important for the club. Of course, there is the issue about the club being prestigious, and you know, Muthaiga Golf Club is the home of golf, and therefore the event has come back to Muthaiga, and the members of Muthaiga are very happy that the Kenya Open has come back to Muthaiga, which they say is the home of golf.
Now, there is an issue of golf being, a sport for the elites. How do you try to turn that narrative?
Okay, over time, golf has been considered as as game of the elite. And we as Kenya Golf Union, we are demystifying this matter. And what we are trying to do, as I said, in the programs that we are putting up, we are looking at taking golf to mashinani. So we are looking at going to both private and public schools and start getting talent from there. And therefore, we demystify this process. And for that, we will be providing equipment for the less fortunate so that they can start learning and we pick the talent from there and then we move on.
Actually, golf is not that cheap. You have to invest in it, right? So my question is, how are you trying to, or rather, what will you do to make it more accessible to others who can't afford?
Yes, I agree with you that the cost of equipment is quite expensive. But what we are doing at the moment is looking at areas of how we can be able to reduce the cost of those equipment. And one of those is we have already sought approval from KRA to exempt duty for golf development equipment. So that way we'll be able to get equipment here which will be duty free. And therefore that will reduce the impact of the cost of clubs. In addition to that, the partners that we have, some of them, in particular the US Kids Foundation, have already developed a club which is a multi-purpose club. You can use it right from hitting short distances and long distances. So you can only buy one club, and the cost of that club will be around $40 to $50.
Now let's talk about the federation. Now that Kenya Golf as a federation, what are some of the changes that we should expect moving forward?
You know, with the enactment of the Sports Act in 2013, Kenya Golf Union went and formed Kenya Golf Federation. And it was expected that the two bodies, one would be the umbrella body and the other bodies, which is KGU, KLGU, would be running golf for men and ladies. But that did not, unfortunately, that did not take place. So with the elections that happened last Friday, we expect to collapse the two other bodies and form one formidable body that will be managing golf in the country.
What does it take to be a professional golfer?
A professional golfer, you have to put in a lot of effort. You must actually play well. You must put a lot of practice in the game. And for you to be a professional, more often than not, you need to be playing off scratch or better. Some of the recent pros that have converted into pros, amateurs that have converted into pros, these have been playing at well below scratch. The top amateur we have today, who is Adel Barala, is playing off +4, and therefore we think he's mature to turn pro.
Thank you so much for your time.
Well, from golf to football academy, and now moving forward, Lamek Simeu is the man behind Legend FC success story. I had a sit down with the Legend FC founder and coach nurturing young talents in Babadogo, and this is how it went.
They say, make hay while the sun is still shining. It is in this football academy that young talents are being nurtured. But what does the future hold for them? Lamek Simeu talks to On The Spot. Asante sana kwa kutenga muda kuzungumza nasi. Hii academy ulianzisha lini na lengo yako kuanzisha academy ilikuwa ni kufanya nini?
Academy nimeanzisha 2021 na lengo langu la kuanzisha academy ilikuwa kusaidia watoi. Watoi unasapata like watoi wanatembea mtaani, wanarokota takataka na mtu kama mimi coach Lamek Simeu siwezi kupaliwa wafanye kama hiyo kazi mbaya. Watoi hii football inasaidia watoi. Through football wanasoma, pata sponsorship. Ukiangalia hapa, hii ground imetoa Lunga. So sisi tunalea talent. Kitu ya kwanza, first of all, nikipata support itakuwa comfortable. Yeah.
Okay. So
Wewe ulianza 2021. Pengine saizi kuna mchezaji yote ambao unaweza wewe kama coach unaweza kuwa unajivunia useme like mchezaji nilimfunza na saizi anachezea klabu yoyote yenye pengine inatambulika hapa nchini?
Sahi kuna kijana mmoja kwa Green Commando ambapo Kakamega. So achapanda sana, lakini nikipata hata mimi nasikia mzuri wakati aliitwa hiyo shule.
Malengo yako pengine miaka 5 ijayo kwa hii kikosi ambao saizi unaonoa makali, pengine miaka 5 ijayo ungetaka kuona uko wapi?
Miaka 5 mimi first of all ningependa sana nikiwe na timu yangu inacheza Premier League. Alafu wachezaji tunaonoa hii academy tunatoa wachezaji wakienda wapi? Premier. So tunaenda na akikuwa mkubwa akifika 17 years. Kuna Taska, kuna Koromaya na satembea waone vijana hapa wachukue, lakini lengo langu sitaki hata wapike Kenya. Lengo langu ni ngambo. Kitu kama kwa Canada, Qatar, kwa majuu.
Sasa tangu uanzishe hii klabu pengine kuna taji ambao umeshashinda, michuano ambao sasa hivi umeshiriki?
Kwa sasa hii bado, lakini wenye nilikuwa nao mwanzo tulishinda kikombe moja. Iko kwa nyumba, pati wao bado niko nao ndio naonoa, tunapika tu most friendly. So far shule ndio ina challenge, lakini wakifunga kuna tuona tunapika.
Ushirikiano wako na wazazi wa watoto like ukizingatia saizi wengi wao sasa hivi wangekuwa wanafaa kwa shule, lakini tunaona wako hapa wanafanya mazoezi. Pengine ushirikiano wako na wazazi wao pengine ikoje?
Ushirikiano wangu na wazazi ni mzuri. Ukiona mzazi anakurelivia mtoto na mwalimu pia unaenda shule na kusikiza, kumaanisha mimi ni mtu mwaminifu. Mimi ni mtu na paia wa junior viatu, nikipata dosa yangu mwenyewe, mzazi anatumia to naendea Kikomba viatu na socks. Mimi kitu yenye na provide sana ni socks na jezi za juu. Mzazi ananunua short na viatu sabot. So kumaanisha malengo yangu na mzazi iko sawa.
Na jamii ambayo inaishi karibu tu na pengine watoto hivyo, jamii inakumbatiaje hii idea yako ya kuanzisha soka ya mafunzo hapo, kufunza vijana hawa pengine kukuza talanta yao? Pengine ukiwa uko nje mtaani, jamii wanasemaje kuhusu mradi kama huu?
Naam, jamii wanafurahia sababu manake unapata kitu kama weekend. Vijana tusipokutana hapo weekend unapata vijana wanafanya tabia mbaya mtaani. Like kama hii ya kurokota takataka. Mtoto kama huyo akianza kurokota takataka ni tabia mbaya. Tukija hapa tupike tizi, Sunday tupige game, Monday wako wapi? Shule. So unapata wazazi wananiambia endelea hivyo.
Kila safari lazima ikuwe na changamoto zake. Pengine sasa hivi wewe kama binafsi kama coach unaweza sema ni changamoto zipi ambazo umezipitia?
Changamoto siko so far. Sasa hivi unaona tuko na ball 3 na unaona hizo ball sikitopoka. Napata changamoto, mzazi unasaambia wa junior walete to, pata wazazi pia wamakeokiwa. So challenge ya kwanza first of all traveling, tukitaka game ya mbali hatuwezi fika. Ball sikitopoka, watu wenyewe wanasatoa do ni walezi. So inapeta place yenyewe unafanya kazi kwa kidogo na chikomiti naweka pale, sababu mimi talent napenda ball na mimi mchezaji najua ni nini challenge wachezaji wanapitia. So ukipenda kitu lazima upende na kitu yenyewe unafanya.
Acha nikuulize swali. Katika maisha yako wewe binafsi pengine ball ilikuwa na mchango upi ndio sasa ukakuwa na hari ya kutaka kukuza vipaji?
Mimi mwenyewe nikikuwa shule nimetamani kucheza Premier League, lakini niliumia nikuwa class 7 tukicheza game za shule. Kapata injury imenisumbua kwa muta. But hapo upika kiasi, lakini so far injury kuja inatekuka, kaona nikuja kwa talent za watoto most juu naweza wa train, alafu pataye wani kwa kama Ulunga sema alikuwa coach wangu, Uliechuya alikuwa coach wangu. Hiyo ndio malengo yangu.
Na ni mchango upi pengine tunaweza sema mpira imekuwa nayo kwa maisha yako? Ni nini unaweza jivunia useme like pengine nimefanya hivi na hivi, hayo yote juu ya mpira?
So football, naweza sema football ni kila kitu kwangu. Sababu ile first of all uko na ushirikiano uzuri na watu. Like Kariobangi nikitembea unasikia coach mambo, unasalimiwa na mtu mwenye akujui. So far unakuwa nanga ground kienda kucheza ball na watu hii. Football inasaidia mimi kulingana kwa kuanzia kumzazi. Babangu alichezea Mumias. Kwa familia yote tumekuwa wachezaji. Hata mwenye nafuata sasa ipata anacheza, lakini zile game za ushako. So hapa Nairobi ningependa sana nipande na vijana, wakifika 17 years wapike county. Alafu pia mimi napenda sana wacheze Premier League ya Kenya. Yeah.
Acha tuongelee ukuzaji wa talent humu nchini. Kenya hatujajulikana sana kwa kukuza vipaji kama haya. Pengine wewe kama coach na Mkenya, ni wapi unaona tunafaa kukaza kamba zaidi?
First of all, Kenya inaongelea management. Management ni mbaya. Unaweza pata unaacha mchezaji mzuri, unachukua mchezaji amekuja na nyuma ya mlango. So far unapata kama kwetu Kakamega tuko na maplayer wengi. Ukienda kama Nyanza maplayer wengi. Nairobi kuna maplayer. So far inafaa waite camp. Wana select kila county wachezaji. Hata kama ni wawili ama watano. Wanakuja camp ya Harambee Stars. Utapata wachezaji wako Kenya ni wengi sana, wazuri sana. Yeah.
Okay. Kando na mafunzo ya soka, pengine kuna miradi mingine ambayo unafanya kuhakikisha unaboresha maisha yao vijana?
Yeah, so far sahi for me naona nimejaribu kazi yenyewe yenye nafanya ni iko chini, nafanya kazi ya kilini. Okay. Yeah. So far unapata hiyo kitoko napata, kilipa nyumba, nyumbani, site na maboy pia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, swali langu ilikuwa ni hivi. Pengine umejaribu kushirikiana na watu wengine kutaka kutafuta msaada ili uboreshe na pengine utimize malengo yao kwa vijana kama hawa chipukizi ambao maybe siku zijazo tutaona wakicheza katika ngazi za kimataifa?
Yeah. So far nimejaribu mpaka nimealika wale wa politician wanataka MCA. Patu unapata mtu anakuambia, naambia watu hii mkitrain na kuja Saturday, the following day akiwaiti watu hii support haonekani. So unapata challenge ni hivyo. Juu amekuwa wakora. But tungepata mtu mwaminifu, sponsorship ndio nahitaji sana. Yeah.
Tukimalizia kabisa, tuambie pengine ujumbe wako wa mwisho ni ipi?
Ujumbe wangu ya mwisho, mimi napenda football na napenda watu hii. Mimi ni mtu talented. Alafu kitu ya mwisho namalizia kusema Kenya kuna talent. Sisi kama makochi tukipata support tutachua venye tutaweka academy. Inaanza kwa watoto wadogo, una move unakuja naangalia mchezaji mmoja hapo itarambe. Hiyo ndio malengo yetu kama makoches.
Okay. Yeah. Shukran sana. For youngsters like this one in Legend FC, growing up to be professional footballers is their key priority right now, even though the challenges that they face is quite stiff. But as coach put it, at the end of the day what matters is determination and the will to propel this academy to higher heights.
Well, Kenya, there is some talent in Kenya. Now moving on to boxing. The hardest part for any coach running a local boxing club is to marshal financial support. Such is the story of former Kenyan boxers Joseph Ochieng and Ramji Okoth, who embarked in a mission of passing down boxing skills to young generation in Siaya County.
When they decided to hang their gloves decades ago from world of boxing, former international hit squad Ramjes Okoth and Joseph Ochieng Otieno had one thing in mind: nurturing young talents. The duo have been using their meager resources to help young boys and girls who are eager to join the ring hone their skills in Siaya.
Boxers ambao ni wazuri sana. Nilianza nao wakiwa watoto, lakini sasa upande wa ngumi wanaelewa ngumi ni nini. Na vile nilianza ngumi hapa na 2004 already nisachukua kijana moja anajiita Dennis Okoth. Dennis Okoth sasa anacheza professional boxing USA.
Na vile sasa niko nyumbani hapa na nafundisha Sauti Kuu Boxing Club kule Kogelo, na wanaendelea nao, na hapa Ndere pia tuko na D4 tunaendesha vijana wanaendelea. Sisi tumwachukua wote kama watoto wetu. Kama tuna mchezo tunawaweka pamoja, alafu tunachagua timu ile ambayo inaweza kutongoza pahali popote ambao watakuwa wanaelekea.
It is here at Oseno Komolo Primary School Siaya Boxing Club that the reigning girls novice and intermediate champion Mary Christine Oluoch were bred. But the club now fights for survival. Several tournaments and national league have been skipped due to lack of funds to send boxers, and there are worrying signs of missing out on upcoming major events.
Kuna vile vitu zile tunakosa nyingi sana hapa tukienda katika michezo. Tunakosa upande ya nauli. Hatupati nauli kwa njia mzuri, ambapo inabidi mpaka tuache boxers wengine na tuende na wachache. Na matokeo ya boxers wakienda kucheza wanatoa matokeo mazuri sana.
The club is sending distress calls hoping that aid will chip in their hour of need. AUMA Evans for KUTV.
Well, we hope aid will come on their way. Well, that's bring an end to our second segment of On the Spot. Of course, we take a short break, and when we come back, it will be sports review. Of course, I have my guests here in studio. I'm just ready to usher you into our previous discussions, whereby we'll be highlighting, the highlight of the news, performance of Team Kenya in both Birmingham and in Cali, that is the World Athletics Under-20 Championship. Well, next, just to remind you, keep on talking to us on our social media platform, Facebook at KUTV Kenya, on Twitter, KUTV_Kenya. Remember to use the hashtag On The Spot. We take a short break. We'll be back in a while.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa si vuguvugu, pepopa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Yeah? Anafanya sport.
So be sure to try this at home. It's a fun experience.
That's gonna need a naringita.
On this episode of Tech Innovation Show, we bring you an innovation that brings convenience to our sisters.
I decided to come up with this project where I can help girls during their menstruation period, especially girls from informal settlement who cannot afford to purchase pads. When you tap a registered card, it will send a signal to the relay. Then it will activate this two servo motor to release the sanitary pads which are packed in these boxes very fast.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika KUTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto, tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za korona nakupa habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia, kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalam, tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani, tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya KUTV, a new experience.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and often smile to the bank.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Arts
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Ukiwa na dukuduku la michezo, tunafungua sanduku la dukuduku kwa ufahamu zaidi. Kila danadana, mitimko, mifiatuko na harakati zote ugani, sisi ni wako mwandani. Kukurukakara zote nyanjani, haziwezi kuangaziwa zaidi ya micharazo michezoni. Mimi mwanaspoti wako matata Peter Pinches Mwaora, ndakuwa na jopo lenye maarifa sufufu, nikufahamishe na nikuburudishe wewe shabiki shakiki kwa uhakiki na kindakindaki.
Welcome back to our last segment, the local and international sports review. Of course, I'm joined by my guest, Mr. Benson. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good, Evans. Are you good?
I'm good. Wow, what a weekend.
What a long weekend. What an amazing weekend for Team Kenya at Commonwealth. Yeah.
And finally, football is back.
The fans are very happy. You know, EPL is back. Talk of Bundesliga kicking off the other day and the Bayern hitting 6. It will be a very good season for everyone to watch.
You saw what Arsenal did, their opening statement, very strong.
Arsenal really picked up where they left at the friendly pre-season, where they put 6 past Sevilla, putting 4 past your good team Chelsea, allegedly. And they took the result to Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, giving them a 2-0 beating. Yeah.
Well, for me, I see like Arsenal is just, you know, I don't see them as a dominant force. But anyway, that will be much later on. Now let's focus and talk about Commonwealth Games, and much in particular, let's talk about the King Omanyala, the new king in Birmingham. You saw he put behind the World Athletics, the Oregon things behind him, and focus now on Commonwealth game. And we saw like he promised he will deliver, and he did. What a way, like 10.02 seconds.
Yeah, I'm looking at Omanyala in Oregon, finishing 5th. He was criticized by many, but then people were thinking of the visa scandals, so they associated that loss, or rather that performance to the visa scandals. But I'm looking at Omanyala posting on his social media, and he said that these are setback that will deserve a comeback. So he said he's focusing on the Commonwealth Games, and then we are seeing him clocking 10 seconds. And he really put a man of the match performance. Look at Omanyala sprinting. Everyone was very happy. Even those who were not Kenyans, they were happy for his performance. So at KUTV, we wish to congratulate Ferdinand Omanyala for raising the Kenyan flag up.
Okay, actually, one thing about Omanyala that is very interesting, he said like he was disappointed for not clocking. He wanted sub 10, but he managed 10.20 seconds. Of course, Kenyans will forgive him for that because, owing to all the things, the Oregon setbacks and now making Kenyan proud. You saw the way social media was, rapturing. Kenyans were so happy, everybody sending congratulatory messages, just celebrating one of their own. And even the commentator was saying like, this is not Kenyan race. Yeah, the kind of reaction that brought, and the excitement and joy that brought to Kenyans and even to the world in general. It's just a start that, signs there is some indication and signs that it's just getting started.
Kenya has not been associated with short distance running. Talk of the sprints, they've not been associated with that. But I'm looking at the even mixed relay some time back when Team Kenya won. So I really think Omanyala getting into that field and claiming, or rather winning gold for Team Kenya is a very good move. It is a thing to show you that indeed we can achieve this, and in as much as we might train hard or really rather raise stars, then in the future we might have short distance runners, because we are associated with the 10,000 things, 3,000, 5,000 steeplechase and all those other events. But look at Omanyala shocking the world. Remember, he's an African champion, a Kenyan champion, and now he's a world champion.
And actually, to add on that, he's in terms of ranking, he's ranked 8th on the world in terms of the fastest speed. And talking about short races, of course, we saw, 2 of our Kenyans being eliminated, but still we have a shot at 400 meters, 400 meters, and for 1x4, that is mixed relay. And Omanyala will be taking part in that, and I think that will be his, second medal that he will be targeting. Do you see a replicate of 100 meters success to that one in particular?
I think him winning the 100-meter race rather will give him a boost, or rather moral confidence. And if he's to go by that performance that we saw him put at Commonwealth in the 100 meters, then take that performance, take that morale, take that achievement to the other race, then I think it will be a very good thing for Team Kenya. He's the only one, he's not the only one, he's the one we are looking at to start at that particular race. So we wish Team Kenya all the best, because remember, the Commonwealth is a competition that has been there for long, We are talking of the kings of Commonwealth in the terms of total medals being the likes of Australia, England, because of other games. But this round for Team Kenya, I think it's a very, very good move for Omanyala.
Okay, even before we come to Kenyan performance, especially in the Commonwealth, there is something he said, after the race, that is during the interview, that he hopes to open the door for coming or the next generation or even aspiring athletes to take part in that 100 meters race, the short races. And just to highlight, he said now it's time to show the world that it's actually possible. Well, when you look at that, we had one of our very own Imeta who really did not qualify to participate in the World Athletics Championship, but he made trip to Commonwealth. And seeing that kind of result, does it give him hope that it's really possible? Because when you compare the two, they have some really interesting story. Before Omanyala became Omanyala, he had to overcome many obstacles. One of them being the same story that we just read here, the doping scandals, and of course not being believed that he can actually give a shot at that. But Imeta is there and is one of our own, and he's really trying, although he did not manage. But do you see now there is hope, a window of hope for him moving forward?
I really think humans associate people with success. If you're successful, then they will be quick to mention you, or rather ensure that they give credit where it's due. And I'm looking at the likes of Omanyala being people that will motivate the younger generation. If you are to watch Omanyala sprinting, then you might think he's not even Kenyan. Look at the likes of Usain Bolt who have been there. I think these are people who Omanyala even looks up to until now. I'm looking at the likes of Taylor and all other athletes. Then the others who are coming and watching Omanyala perform, these are things to tell you that indeed there is hope for Team Kenya, there is hope for the country in as much as short distance running is concerned. And I really think the obstacles that many people face, more so in this athletics, it's because of doping, talk of doping, because many people want just to sprint and get the gold. I'm looking at Kenyans who have not had, or rather they know they have the talent, but they have gone to other countries, even at going to Uganda, Kazakhstan. These are people who have gone there because they know there is money. So in as much as you want to overcome all those obstacles, then you have to keep in mind that indeed success does not come on a silver platter. I'm looking at Omanyala, I'm looking at his performance. Talk of him being a rugby player in the past, because I've interviewed him and I know he told me that he was a rugby player in the past. And then look at him bringing that success to this short distance running. So I really think it will be a very good thing for young Kenyans to learn from Ferdinand.
Well, talking about some of Kenyan athletes changing their citizenship to other countries, we saw in it was during the World Athletics, just the concluded one, we saw it was Jeruto, one of our very own now parties representing Kazakhstan, and actually she won. And it was quite a shame for Kenya, because she's one of our own, and of course going there, coming against one of our own, and taking the medal home, and us not finishing on a podium finish. What kind of message does it send as far as athletics is concerned here in Kenya? What motivates them to represent other countries and not the country of their origin?
I think really even statistics will tell you that the fastest women in the world right now are Kenyans. But there are Kenyans who have turned into the countries like Bahrain and Kazakhstan. Because we are talking of Nora Jeruto, you've just mentioned her. Then I'm talking of Winfred Yavi. This is the other girl who really performs very well. But I'm looking at obstacles that are in Kenya. I'm looking at the sports ministry at large. Am I looking at corruption scandals? Am I looking at people who really want to steal the money from the athletes? Because stealing is the word. As much as it is, they are corrupting the deals. In as much as you've performed, then award me have performed. You've promised me something. Give me my share of the deal. Let me go. That will motivate me. But if you are there and you're embezzling the funds, then that sends a wrong message to even the youngsters who wish to join the race. Because they know that in as much as I'm to join this game, there is nothing that I'm going to earn from that. And you even look at the sports league in Kenya, the FKF Premier League. Am I looking at Gor Mahia players missing training sessions, claiming they have not been paid their salary? Then you tend to think, where is this money? Because we really see people who are committed. We really see Kenyans that in as much as they're athletes, they have other things that they do. Maybe someone is a farmer. So he or she decides to run. And when they do this, they do it very well professionally. So give them what they deserve, let them go. Whatever if in as much as they might not win the race, it will send a message of hope to all other Kenyans and even young athletes for upcoming events.
Okay. Now there is another interesting Kenyan, that is Jacqueline Chepkoech. Of course, this is he was a junior athlete that she transitioned to senior athlete, and he won 3,000 meters steeplechase, second gold for Kenya. In terms of focusing on junior athletes to to give them that kind of transition, how do you see Kenya in terms of pairing on? It is very interesting to note that so much of our athletes right now are either retiring or on their way to retire. And now we have a new bunch of athletes now transitioning. Do you see if that is the main reason why we see some sort of performance that to quote unquote very disappointing to, for lack of better words? But now the transition, is there hope for Kenya in the coming days?
You're talking of a player who really inspired me. You're moving from the junior championship to the senior level. And at this level, we expect you to perform. Because we've seen very many athletes. We've seen the likes the likes of Dereva. These athletes who have been there in the past. Athletes who have won the hearts of many Kenyans. They've been dear to many Kenyans. And then I'm looking at these young athletes trying to transit to being senior athletes. So what message is it sending? It is sending a message that in as much as the older athletes have been there, we are upcoming. Because I'm looking at Cali, the athletes at Cali, under 20s. If you are to look at them running, then you tend to think there is hope. In as much as you are 20, maybe by that you'll have brought many gold medals or even silver or bronze to Team Kenya. So her really transiting and performing very well because she claimed gold. It is a very good move, and I think it will give confidence to other young athletes, showing them that this is the way to go. In as much as you are young, then you know what you want to do. You set the goal, you achieve it, and even if you don't achieve, you may just fall below the achievement level, but in future there is still hope.
Well, I see much success in our Kenyan team, especially the junior ones. When we talk about Amos Serem, Vincent Keter, we have the likes of Wanyonyi in the 800 meters. Remember, these are juniors. They represented the country in the last edition of World Under-20 Athletics Championship in Kasarani, and we saw their performance, and we have seen what they are capable of, and we know there is hope for Kenya as far as the dominance of our race are concerned. Right now, probably we might see the storm, shaking us a little bit, but with this kind of athletes coming in the ranks, then there is hope for Kenya. Now, moving on to World Athletics Under-20 Championship in Cali. There is another, some kind of performance that we're seeing, of course, very interesting. Remember, we are the defending champions. We won the last two editions, the one in 2020, and I mean the one in 2018 and the one in 2021. 2020 World Under-18 and the World Under-20. Kenya topping the board. Right now we are at position number 3. Of course, USA is on top and Jamaica, and now Kenya will lie there, position 3. Do you see us replicating same performance that Kenyans expect from our team?
I see hope in the under-20s. These are youngsters who have been there to represent the country in the previous editions. We've seen them rise to the ranks, even beating teams like Australia, Jamaica, topping the medal standings. So I really think there is a little bit of time for Team Kenya in as much as the under-20s or under-21s are concerned. And this should send a message of hope, of course, because these are athletes who have been there running very well. They've tried to show that indeed they can. Are you looking at other events? Are you looking at other field track events that they've tried to compete at? And you see hope. Because, in as much as we have dominant countries, you're looking at Australia. This is a country that has been there with time. It has athletes. Are you talking of shot put, the field, all those types of athletes? Look at Jamaica. They are very fast. They are talented. Then you are seeing Kenya coming there to represent the country. So I think there is still hope for Team Kenya. In as much as they might not take the first position, then second will not be a bad thing to take.
Well, for me, I see the first position. Nothing is impossible. We know they are capable, and there is some very interesting, athletes. There is a story we run here. It's about Faith Cherotich. He won Kenya third gold, and that is in the same race, 3,000 meters steeplechase. Faith and Jacqueline, they were partnering together in the last edition, and of course Jacqueline won gold and she won silver, and she won bronze, and now she turned it to gold. In terms of transitioning and now even growing, does it we will be, maybe in the near future we'll have two athletes at the same par representing Kenya in the name of Faith and Jacqueline. Do you see a hope in this one?
I've seen Kenya storm to other positions or other ranks, claiming first position, gold, silver, and bronze in other events. I've seen Jamaica replicating the same, claiming gold, silver. I've seen even America doing the same. So for Team Kenya, this should be a good thing. Jacqueline and her friend, or rather her companion, if they pair that much and they practice, they train very well, then I really see them claiming titles. I really think even they should add another person there so that they may take gold, silver, and bronze for Team Kenya at other coming events. So this is not a thing that is not achievable, because we've seen other countries achieve the same. So I really think, in as much as it might appear difficult, then it's very possible, because these are athletes that you've seen them perform. Are you looking at girls who have the willpower? And they say that whatever men can do, then women can do better. And we tend to concur with them at this particular point, Evans.
Yeah, indeed, what a man can do, a woman can do even better. As we wind up in this particular discussion, of course, we still have a couple of races remaining before curtain comes down. And in both Commonwealth and, of course, World Athletics Under 20, there is some races that are still ongoing. Probably, what is your projection? What do you expect at the end of the day? Where do you see Kenya in terms of ranking? Right now, under 20, we are position 8. Commonwealth, right now, we are 12, of course. And probably we are still waiting for 800 meters. That is, I'm very confident that that is our race. We have won it, and it is ours to lose. And of course, we still have 400 relay. Still, that one we're expecting some good results. So by the end of the day, of which curtain will come down, that is will be on Monday. Where do you see Kenya?
With all these races remaining, or rather a few races remaining, I see a top half finish for Kenya. If not top 5, then give me top 7. They will try to get at least somewhere, because remember, they've tried to win some medals for Kenya. At the beginning of the competitions, many athletes performed dismally, and we were even being mocked. What is happening? And even others were stating that they should start a probe or other investigations on whatever is happening there, because they talked of other players that were not on the list of traveling to Commonwealth being involved there. Am I looking at Omanyala's scandal back in Oregon? Am I looking at the delay? Am I looking at him then coming back and stating, this is not anyone's offense, this is not anyone's fault, it is all our fault? And even Kenyans were quick to criticize him, they were quick to critique him. But then you tend to look at the scandals that have been affecting the country. You tend to look at players or other athletes that have gone there. Because we had the first bunch of athletes going there. We had people who were not athletes, but they went there. And then I'm looking at the kind of inspiration that has driven these athletes to really try to perform. And I think for Team Kenya, we wish them nothing but the best. Remember, we are citizens of this country. We must be patriotic to our flag.
Yeah. Well, talking about being patriot and all that, remember Kenya sent a total of 122 players in the Commonwealth, athletes in the Commonwealth Games, and in 16, disciplines. That is rugby, talk about athletics, swimming, weightlifting, all that. And so far, our medals have come from, athletics. And this tells you the kind of work that we need to put in order to match the standards, or rather to rub shoulders with the best of the very best. Last time we were talking about Kenya Rugby, the Shujas. I know with the kind of performance that they posted, it was quite impressive. But unfortunately, they had to exit the stage, suffering at the hands of New Zealand. Well, what does it tell you about, all these? squabbles.
This should send a message, or rather should tell you that we need to improve a lot. There is a lot that needs to be done, as much as we want, or rather we might appreciate the levels of success that we've reached as a country right now. Am I looking at rugby? Am I looking at no performance? Am I looking at no medals in the previous past? Am I looking at other events and then I'm seeing no success? Then I'm looking at athletics, I'm seeing that we are really trying. So we've been good at athletics, but if we can try to match the levels or the heights of other countries, because talk of other countries that perform very well in all other events, and this should tell you that a lot needs to be done. Is it in investing? Is it in training? Is it in team building? All these are things that should be done to ensure that really Kenya reaches the levels that we expect, because it's a country that really has very good potential athletes. Because you've just interviewed the other academy here, you can tell that from the kids, the way they are playing, they have the passion, they have the will, they want to really play. But if you are reaching at a level where there are obstacles that bar you from success, then it becomes difficult, because we are human beings, and some are bound to get tired. Some will give up. So I really think as a country we should try in as much as possible to ensure that we push the athletes in all particular fields, events.
Well, I don't know if it's the mentality or just an issue of administration or what is happening. If athletics can't do it, I'm sure other sports can do it, other disciplines can do it. Rugby can do it, swimming can do it, hockey can do it. And talking about hockey, it's quite sad, but we'll have to give them where we give credit where it's due. It was their first time, they tried, and it was amazing, making to that podium and even competing with the best of the very best. They exit the stage with some lessons learned, and we just hope that they will take it as a motivation as they prepare for other future events. They will use on that to build on future and success that awaits. We have the All African Games in 2023, that is next year, just a couple of months away. We hope that whatever they said, they will use it as motivation. Then we will hold them for that. And although we wish them all the best, they have really tried. It's not easy being first time. They can be excused, but there is no excuse in failure. They say that one. Now let's look at medal standing. Of course, just like I told you, Kenya are position 12. The last edition they finished 14, so it's an improvement. And of course, the Commonwealth Games, they're not just over yet. We still have a couple of games remaining, races remaining. So probably this is something that might change over the course of time. There is a time Ethiopia, there is a time Uganda was ahead of us, and it was just a shaming, but I'm quite impressive, and I'm impressed with the way Kenya are really bouncing back, and it shows that this time we might even beat the previous record. Paul Tergat, the NOC president, said prior to even the beginning of the games that they are going there to do what they do best, that's winning. Still waiting for that. Of course, we have seen some good signs from the likes of Omanyala. Then we have the Jacqueline. We know there is a couple of athletes who have won silver, some bronze. It's quite good performance, and we are very optimistic that at the end of the day we will see Kenya flying high. Well, that is for the Commonwealth. Then we have the World Under 20. Of course, we have seen some kind of results that they are posting, and we know this is a team that is very much capable. They have proved it time and time. So probably your prediction in these two events?
With rather few events remaining, then I think Kenya will finish ahead of, or rather above the position they finished last time. There is all hope, and everything is banking up to that. We really wish them all the best. So I wish they have a top 10 finish in both the under 20s and at the Commonwealth, the seniors and the juniors. And if they are to do them, If they are to do that, then kudos, we'll pat their backs and tell them congratulations. And even if they don't do that, we'll still them congratulations. We'll tell them congratulations, you've tried. Talk of a hockey team that is a debutant in the competition. Then come from that a game with lessons learned. Are you carrying the lessons like Omanyala did from Oregon, taking it to Commonwealth? Are you learning from it? Are you bouncing back? Are you thinking of every setback deserving a comeback? Then in the next edition of the Commonwealth Games or under 20s, then we will have a gold medal for Team Kenya.
Well, there is rather some sad news, you know, to the sporting fraternity. This is when after Kenya, you know, lost one of the veteran referees in the volleyball. There is Mr. Edward Gitau. Many call him Taylor. It's very sad, and we wish the family the comfort that may Lord give them, you know, the comfort and courage during these trying moments, and may God rest his soul in eternal peace. Probably I remember him as a man, both, you know, we have interacted in personal level and even off pitch. He was a very passionate sportsman who dedicated most of his life in nurturing young talent, giving advice to future sportsmen. So his demise is a huge loss to sporting fraternity, especially to the volleyball. He was quite an impressive and brilliant guy. We will forever remember him for his contribution in sporting world. So that having been said, I know we still have quite a lot to talk about, including the international news. But we will take a short break. Then the next segment will talk about that.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
I believe in God. Well, doesn't hurt that he's so easy to look at.
You know, my parents, when those parents, oil and water.
I am not going to back down. I would also completely understand if anyone in here chooses to leave this family.
Thank you for your offer, but I'm staying.
I'm staying.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
My uncle is probably behind it.
It's always him or Matata.
I'd appreciate it if you did this after the election.
Unlike you, my life does not revolve around politics.
It's always good when we get together again.
With a body like this, no wonder you're smitten. Now, you can imagine the shock when I found out that our future daughter-in-law is working for the enemy.
It's just a job.
Your sister here must accept that she made the wrong choice.
Honor your father and mother and heed their guidance, even to whom you cast your vote for in the election.
And where is that written in the Bible?
Have I ever told you to remind me of my wife?
Those scratches on your face, they make you look heroic.
I thought I'd come and offer my help.
There's no peace because of you.
Wendell! AUMA! Can you stop shouting?
This is a disaster for our family. You wonder why I don't want to get involved in politics. Tafadhali kaa mbali na msichana wangu. I love you.
Bye. Excuse me?
I've seen the way you look at him. Something has happened between the two of you, right? No fool no more, bro. We're going to push my uncle's campaign so hard that car will crash.
Family genes waking up finally.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Make a date with me, Samson Jura, every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Back and let's dive into some football action. Of course, Arsenal, punishing Crystal Palace 2-0 in their first opening match, and was a derby. We saw the likes of Gabriel Martinelli scoring for Arsenal and Bukayo Saka creating the goal that was converted as on goal. Well, Benson, Arsenal making very strong statement to the opening of the season. Do you see them going with this kind of momentum up to the very end of the league?
It might be difficult to state that Arsenal will go with this momentum rather till match week 38 or something about that. But I'm looking at them at the preseason. Are they showing you that they really want to defend? Am I looking at yesterday's match? I'm looking at Saliba coming in. He's coming like a new signing for Arsenal. He was a rock at the defense, and he even prevented a goal, denying Tyrick Mitchell a chance. And then I'm looking at Arsenal, the way they played. I will tell you that was composure personified. Gabriel Martinelli putting in a very good header, scoring. And remember, these are youngsters. These are very good youngsters. This is a team that Arteta is creating. And I will tell you for a fact that Arsenal is creating a team that is based on discipline. Main reason being the captaincy option has been given to young Odegaard. At only 20-something, 21, 22, 23, you have the armband to lead the team. This is to tell all other players that no one is above the law. So in as much as we want to achieve, then we want success. Because I'm looking at Arsenal when Aubameyang left, everyone was like, what is happening? Is the coach knowing what he's doing? And then it's like he had a plan, because look at Arsenal right now, the way they are playing. Look at the likes of Bukayo Saka creating the goal that was deflected by Guehi becoming an own goal, and them sealing a 2-0 win, a clean sheet and 3 points on the bag. As we talk, Liverpool are losing 1-0 to Fulham at halftime. Yeah. Mitrovic having put Fulham at the lead. So these are lessons that maybe Arsenal wants to learn. They want to create a very good team. Look at the signings of Arsenal. Many think Gabriel Jesus will flop, but I'll tell you for a fact the player will match the levels. I know you have different opinions. I'm looking at Zinchenko coming from Man City. Am I looking at even other players joining the team to play very well? And look at Odegaard, look at Bukayo Saka, look at Martinelli. these are youngsters. Look at the likes of Edward, who come from the bench and they can try to change the game. So yesterday's game was a very interesting game to watch because Zaha really also tried. Also Edward tried, but they could not match Arsenal's impressive performance.
Okay. Jijo, what is your take about yesterday's match, Crystal Palace vs Arsenal? And of course it was a derby and Arsenal punished Crystal Palace for their silly mistakes. Do you see an Arsenal team that will march all the way until the last, the last minute, or even march away with the title?
Mambo vipi Ivan, tuko fiti?
Go fiti sana.
Yeah man, so about Arsenal against Crystal Palace, I think that was just about a start of the English Premier League, and I feel that, okay, Arsenal played very well, and I feel that, they have a lot of chances of showing how, styling their game, showing people that, their fans that, we are back, strong than ever before. But for me, as a, fan of football, I feel that, experience bado itawatoa because they don't have those people who are much experienced. Wamecheza against Crystal Palace, of which Crystal Palace bado hatujaona wenye wamesign new players. We have not seen new faces, hakuna hapo. Bado wanajaribu kungangana kuleta ma players before the transfer window is closed. So me, I feel that, this is just but a start. Bado wako na kazi mingi ya kufanya. Lazima walete players, walete new faces, watu wenye wako na experience than any other, because English Premier League unajua lazima ukuwe na experienced players. That's why ukiangalia team kama Manchester City, ukiangalia midfield iko na a lot of experienced players, but Arsenal watasumbuka sana. And I can this I can tell you with the fact that wakipata na team kama Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United, I think it will be very hard for them to beat these teams. Yeah.
Well, probably this is their season. Don't you think so? This is their season, and it's a new season, new players. We have seen the likes of Gabriel Jesus in the team, and Arsenal are really, making strong statement. We have seen their pre-season undefeated, and the most interesting things about this Arsenal team, they don't let in a lot of goals, especially this season. Probably, what's your take? Don't you think this is an Arsenal team that has really wake up and they mean business?
I don't think so. Okay, maybe I can give them a credit. Their style of play, wamejaribu sana. You can tell that, ni kitu wamefanya. Arteta anajaribu kuleta something new in the English Premier League, because wanacheza kama the former Barcelona ya akina Thierry Henry, the likes of akina Messi, the likes of akina, wanajaribu kuleta the former Barcelona, the legends that were there wakati Barcelona ilikuwa inawaka moto. And I feel that the style of play, in case wata improve kabisa wanaweza kacheza Champions League next season, maybe wanatoka number 4, but that's wanafaa kuprove wako fiti wakicheza na the teams of Liverpool, Chelsea, okay, wacha nitoe Chelsea hapo sababu wanasumbuka. Wacha niweke team kama Manchester City, and Manchester United, teams zenye ziko na very experienced players. Hata Leicester City wacha niweke hapo because ziko na wachezaji wako very experienced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why are you ruling Chelsea out? Chelsea is a very strong team, very experienced team. Ruling Chelsea out will be, just trying to get back at Chelsea. Anyway, Benson, I've seen you shaking your head. It's like you don't agree with Jijo's sentiments.
Jijo claims that Arsenal is playing like the former Barcelona. That's a very big lie. According to me, that's my opinion. Maybe it's true according to him. But I'm looking at a Barcelona team that played top-notch quality football. You cannot even match that Barcelona to any other team right now. Maybe the team that the current coach is trying to build after getting the likes of Casey, the likes of Pedri in the team. But I'm looking at an Arsenal side that still has chemistry. You might have very many players like Manchester United, our team. You might have Sancho, Ronaldo, Bruno. On paper, this is a very good team, but take them to the pitch, they are beaten by Brighton. Take them to the pitch, they'll be beaten by West West Ham. What does that tell you? That tells you there is a lack of chemistry in the team. Because even if you are playing, if you play FIFA, I will tell you for a fact, if you assemble your squad, and then there is something that comes there as chemistry. You've gotten Dembele from Barcelona, you've gotten the likes of Hazard from Real Madrid. Creating a team with no chemistry helps no one. So I'm looking at a young Arsenal team that has chemistry, and I'm looking at a team that is promising. And I'll tell you for a fact they will finish in the top 4 this season.
Well, talking about chemistry, yesterday I saw Gabriel Jesus really struggling. Many had anticipated that this is the kind of play. He was the missing piece that Arsenal was lacking. But with yesterday's performance, if you ask me, I'm not convinced about his performance.
You will never judge a player by one game.
I have seen him play.
Football pundits will tell you you'll never judge a player by one game. I've watched him play also at Manchester City. Jesus is a prolific striker who misses and scores. So if he's to then get the chance to get more game time, are you going to the training sessions? Are you improving on your finishing? Because he's a player that we've seen. Are you looking at him grabbing? Is it a hat-trick against Sevilla? Are you looking at him scoring when it mattered? So I really also remember Gabriel Jesus finishing, is it not last season, the other season, the goal, the last goal that really helped them to win the title. So I'm looking at Jesus as a clinical player when necessary. I think he needs to be given time to adapt to the style of play, and then train more, try to see where is my miss. And then, because you've said he's the missing part of the puzzle that Arsenal needed. And if they've gotten another striker, Arsenal would have done very well should they have added another striker to help Jesus up front. But I think with time, Jesus will prove to you that he's a good player. I'm very sorry to my fantasy friends who captain Jesus only to get 4 points. There is still other game weeks to come.
Jijo, Benson says Gabriel Jesus is a score and miss player. Of course, for me, I don't think he's a score and miss player. Actually, he's just a miss player. What's your take on Arsenal's acquiring Gabriel Jesus and probably Jesus being the savior? Do you see him saving Arsenal?
Yeah, Evans, let me tell you something. You can't just, you can't compare. You can't say now a player is a flop just because of just one game. That is exactly what happened to Darwin Núñez immediately after he joined Liverpool. And people criticized him in all manners. But in the next game, he scored a hat-trick. And, that shows that, okay, not a hat-trick, but he forced a hat-trick, And that was... people literally walishindwa kusema kitu because they realized kumbe huyu kijana kuna kitu anaweza akapea Liverpool na watu walikuwa nasema Klopp amesign flop, and that is exactly what happens to to players. Sometimes inakuwa ngumu sana ukicheza game yako ya kwanza because the attention, all the attention is on you. Kila mtu anataka kuangalia huyu mchezaji atatusaidia aje ikifika, especially ikifika ni EPL. Kila mtu anataka kuangalia huyu Jesus. Tumekuwa tukisikia pre-season na shine to shine. Wacha tumwangalie the defense of Crystal Palace wamejua, ni mtu wameinvestigate wakajua une mse mwenye ukimpea chance ata convert. That what exactly happens to even bigger players. Look at the likes of Akina Mane, look at the likes of Akina Salah. Sometimes they don't even score because wameshikwa sana, and that is exactly what happens in football. So it's a matter of time. I'm sure Jesus ni mtu wako experience kucheza EPL. Amecheza na Manchester City, the biggest club in terms of EPL, kucheza EPL, and I'm sure that something big is coming from Jesus. So it's a matter of time. Game ya kwanza tusimjudge nayo, bado mavitu atakuja kufanya, I'm sure. Not that napenda Arsenal, but let's not envy their success. Something big is coming out of them.
Well, I like the fact that you allude to the fact that he has been there in the English Premier League. We have seen him. When we judge him based on the results. Well, having said that, let's take a look at today's fixtures. Of course, Fulham versus Liverpool. Fulham leading 1-0 against Liverpool. And it's very interesting, very interesting. The opening game and, things happening the way they are happening. The next match will be Bournemouth versus Aston Villa, and Wolves will be traveling to Leeds to square it out. Newcastle will play host to Nottingham Forest, and Tottenham Hotspurs up against Southampton. All those at 5 p.m. Later on, Everton vs Chelsea. Of course, gentlemen, let's talk about this particular prediction. And if you ask me, I wasn't sure if Fulham, will stand a chance against Liverpool. Of course, football is 90 minutes, and we can't rule Liverpool out. But right now, being ahead, does it, tells a different story?
I think Fulham have taken their chances. That's what they've done. I'm looking at a Fulham team with a possession of 23%. I'm looking at Liverpool with more than 70% possession. I'm looking at Fulham with 5 shots facing the goal and then 1 on target. That was the goal. Remember the great Alexander Mitrovic. They've sticked with that player and he has punished Liverpool. I'm looking at Liverpool with 3 shots and 0 on target, so that tells you something. Improve when you are finishing, then you might try to win, because I'm looking at Mo Salah being there, my captain at the FPL, and then I'm looking at Bobby Firmino also being there. There is still a lot of time for them to make a comeback. So I think this is not the start that we anticipated. We expected Liverpool to rush Fulham, but I'm looking at a Fulham team that in the championship played very well. They were outstanding in the championship. So I think they've carried that momentum to this game. One thing they know is that they are underdogs. They know they don't stand a chance, and many people know they don't stand a chance. But what if I go to that game and I decide to score fast? Then sit back, try to be pacey on the counter and add another goal. Maybe even get a draw from that game. That is a result that Fulham will be very proud of, Evans.
Well, Jijo, will the underdogs, of course, surprise the masters of the game? Will Nunes do the wonders?
Okay, for the game of Liverpool against Fulham, I think there is still time for them to, Liverpool these are kings of comebacks. They do perform, especially in the last minutes of the game, and I'm sure that in any time soon, I believe Liverpool itapiga mtu itatonga vibaya sana. These are just kids of the Premier League.
So what's your prediction of this particular match?
I guess Liverpool, I think Liverpool will win, and I'm sure maybe 3-1.
Well, 3-1, he says. Your prediction?
2-1 or a 1-1 draw.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Chelsea vs Everton match. So I know here is the real problem, but who do you see will win this particular match?
I fancy a Chelsea win. I'm looking at an Everton side that has let Richarlison go and join Tottenham Hotspurs in a bid to add an extra striker to that particular team. And then am I looking at a Chelsea team that has brought in Khalidou Koulibaly? Am I looking at a Chelsea team that has brought in Raheem Sterling? I'm still looking at the young mount, the likes of Reece James at that particular team. I think Lampard will be very happy to go back at Chelsea, and he will want to prove a point. He's loved by Chelsea fans. He was there, but when it mattered, he never performed, and he was shown the door. To the left he went. So coming back with the right door, rather leading Everton, I'll tell you for a fact Everton miraculously survived last season at the Premier League. They put a very good performance on the last day, and they survived because we've not associated them with going down. So them going rather hosting Chelsea. Chelsea will go into that game knowing they have a point to prove to the fans. You've lost your preseason. You are beaten 4-0 by Arsenal. That is not a performance that many wanted. So I'm looking at a Chelsea team that will try to show that they can win, and I fancy them for the win.
Actually, I'm speaking with the kings of double speech. It is you, gentlemen, who told me that don't judge a team based on its just one performance. Anyway, Jijo, your prediction, Everton vs Chelsea. Who do you think will carry the day?
The Blues. Okay. Before maybe I talk of I give my predictions. I feel that I think Frank Lampard will be the first coach to be sacked. I don't know, but I feel I have a feeling of him being sacked because zero signings bado. Ukiangalia game ya Everton ni kama wanabahatisha. I feel that Chelsea will win this match comfortably, and I feel that 3 points with a total of maybe more than 3 goals for Chelsea, but I just nahurumia tu Frank Lampard because bado hajameka effort ya kuleta good players, experienced ones. So a credit for Chelsea. Well, the day. No, usicheke sana Evans.
You know me, I know Chelsea are a very strong team and I see a 5-0. We are very bitter with this Everton team. The last time they beat us 1-0 and they were weak and they mocked us, and this time we hope we'll have the last laughter. Well, there is another team that have really done quite impressive in the transfer market. We're talking about Tottenham. Jijo, your prediction pretty quick on Tottenham vs Southampton match. Who do you see will, walk away with 3 points?
Some weeks ago, I said that, Conte usually, akiingia kwa team, usually he comes with an aim of, coming and taking the trophy, home. And I feel that, Tottenham will have a very good season. They have good signings, they have good players quality. And I feel that, next season, wataingia Champions League tena, if Conte will still remain there. And I feel that for today, they'll also carry the day. 3 points, a total of more than 3 goals. Kwa niaba mwekezaji over 2.5.
Well, Benson, Tottenham have brought in Richarlison and a couple of players to the squad. Just like Jijo says it, Conte is a winning manager. He goes to a team with the aim of winning, and every club that he has gone, he has won. He came to Chelsea, he won. He went to Juventus. He went to Inter Milan, he won. Now at Tottenham, do you see him winning?
I'm looking at a Tottenham Hotspur team whose trophy cabinet is empty. In the previous seasons, very, very empty, just like Manchester United. So I'm expecting that Conte will try to showcase the performance he put when he was at Inter Milan. Because I'm looking at Conte coming with Perisic at left back. He wants to play him at the left back role. He knows this player will attack. I think Tottenham have been porous in the past, in as much as they score with the likes of Harry Kane or when Sons Dejan, Rodrigo, Bentancur, and the other players scoring, they're still porous. So I really think, in as much as Tottenham will win the game, they will concede, but I fancy them maybe to put 2 or 3 goals past Southampton.
Well, Sunday fixtures, we have Leicester vs Brentford and Manchester United vs Brighton Albion. On the same Sunday, West Ham will be playing against Manchester City. Now, gentlemen, Manchester United is your team, and Brighton, you remember what they did to you guys. This time, in terms of flexing muscles in transfer market, I don't think if you Manchester United have done quite impressive. You have a backload of problem in your camp. Your star player and of course the god of football is now in kind of mix up and down with the technical bench, including your head coach. When you want to build a strong team that can compete in top level, then you don't need this kind of attitude in a team. Having said that, plus the kind of transfers that you have done in the transfer market, tomorrow's game, do you see, are you confident? That's the question of walking away with 3 points.
Every Manchester United fan will tell you that they are not fully confident that the team will win. But I'm looking at a team playing at Old Trafford. Remember, this Old Trafford is a place where we associate with success, but we have not been successful in the recent past.
Thank you.
I'm looking at Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm looking at Sancho, I'm looking at Bruno. Am I looking at Martial coming back? Am I looking at Rashford coming back to the team? Then I expect a team that will really play very well. I'm looking at Cristiano Ronaldo, who is not certain over his future. He wants to leave Manchester United. And the best thing that the team can do is to let him go. They let Pogba leave. So I think they should let him go so that the young team now will click very well. You might be the GOAT, but when time comes, there comes a time, Lumumba PLO will tell you, even if you're a great dancer, know when to leave the stage. If Ronaldo feels he has played so much for Manchester United, of course he was there when it mattered, the Champions League, trying even against Villarreal at moments we never expected. Ronaldo is a very good player. I think he still has the chance to play. But am I looking at other players? It's like they are under his shadows. I'm looking at Ronaldo coming into the team last season. Bruno Fernandes was the man of the match in every particular game. He was in everyone's fantasy Premier League team. Ronaldo came. more than 1 million managers showed Bruno the door. They brought in Ronaldo. And I think Manchester United should try to play as a team. With the new coach, I will tell you for a fact, Ten Hag is a very strict manager. He wants the ball on the ground. He wants a carpet football. Are you looking at the Manchester United that had Wayne Rooney? The other brothers. Are you looking at the defense that was very, very, very solid? Then if you are to get that Manchester United back, then you will win the hearts of many fans. Tomorrow's game, Manchester United, I know we will win, but very closely or very miraculously. 2-0.
Well, Jijo, you know, you have had some sentiment. It's come a time when a team is important than a player. And of course, it's fair to say it comes a time when Manchester United is greater than Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, will tomorrow be, you know, will theater of dreams turn to, you know, theater of nightmares? Jijo, what's your take on tomorrow's game? You are playing Brighton, and actually you will be at home. Do you see, you know, revenging?
Definitely. You know, as Manchester United, you know, we have a lot of, you know, haters as well. We have a lot of, you know, people who support Manchester United. This is one of the clubs which has a lot of haters and a lot of, you know, fans. And I feel that, you know, tomorrow we have a chance, you know, of taking the 3 points, because, you know, Manchester United, you know, people are criticizing Manchester United, saying that we have not yet, you know, signed very good and quality players. But I feel that the only thing that we need for right now is the CDM. But for the time being, you know, Fred anaweza akashikilia tu hapo, and as time goes by, because, you know, let me give you a good, you know.
All right. Okay, now there is another game that will be played tomorrow. That is Manchester City versus West Ham. Of course, Manchester City has flexed muscles. We have seen the kind of players they have brought in. When you look at Haaland is every team's dream in terms of as far as striker is concerned. And of course, they have marshaled some numbers. We have seen, you know, letting in players and, you know, letting out some. So tomorrow, West Ham versus Manchester City. What's your prediction in this particular game?
Manchester City, everyone fancies them for a win. But I'm looking at a West Ham side that surprised many last season, playing very good football. Against Manchester City, I don't think they stand a chance. Are you looking at the passing of Bernardo Silva? Are you looking at the vision of Kevin De Bruyne, the finishing of Erling Haaland that he showcased at Borussia Dortmund? In the preseason, he has not shown us that he can finish, but with time, I know maybe he will adjust to the game. But I really think Manchester City, are you looking at Alvarez coming as a striker there? He's a very young and capable, talented player who will shock many this season. Talk of Cancelo, the right back, talk of Walker. They still have a very good team. Fernandinho left, but I really think they signed Calvin Phillips. You remember that player from, is it Leeds United? To maybe rather focus on the midfield, to adjust the midfield. City will remember that on the last day of the Premier League match last season, they survived miraculously. Liverpool could have won the title, but am I looking at Gundogan coming into the game and changing the game? So City flexing their muscles and bringing Haaland, bringing Nunes, and signing Phillips. These are in a bid to strengthen the team. Come there, be solid, and help us win the league again. And should City win the league again, then it will be terrible for the Premier League fans, because ni kama wanatuzoea.
Well, before we call it a day, yesterday it was Frankfurt Eintracht played against Bayern Munich, and Sadio Mane, of course, was on the score sheet together with Serge Gnabry and Barcelona. I mean, Bayern Munich really opened a very strong statement in the game, and it was quite some kind of impressive. You know, Barcelona right now, Bayern Munich right now, they don't have a typical, you know, number 9 striker. With Roberto Lewandowski gone, how do you see the team surviving?
I'm looking at a Bayern team that has been scoring for fun. Are you looking at the young Jamal Musiala grabbing a brace yesterday? Sadio Mane, of course, are not playing very well substituted, but he managed to get on the score sheet. That's what matters, because they signed him from Liverpool. And they have still Serge Gnabry, they have the legs of Leroy Sané. Are you talking of Alphonso Davies? Then the other young players. I think it will be difficult for Bayern fans to adjust without Lewandowski. Remember, this was a very lethal finisher. The Guinness Book of Records will tell you that Lewandowski scored 5 goals in less than 10 minutes. That's what they will tell you. That's statistics. You cannot argue with facts. So I really want to see how they'll transition and even play this coming season. But I don't think they will use the pacey forwards in the likes of Sadio Mane, Serge Gnabry to try and see whether they can win. Putting 6 past Frankfurt was expected. And I think Bayern will still carry the title ahead of Borussia Dortmund and the likes of Hoffenheim.
So basically, there is no competition.
In Bundesliga.
And in the EPL, this will be quite very intensive. Like if to be honest, if you are just being honest, we have like a couple of 3 teams that are capable of competing for this particular title. That is Manchester City, Liverpool, I see Chelsea, and I strongly believe Arsenal, they are there to make a statement. So this is quite very interesting, and we will see as things unfold. So for me, my prediction for the league, as a strong Chelsea fan, this is our moment to shine. I'm not sure about you. What's your prediction?
Manchester United, I think they will try to adjust. The maximum we can go is to try have a top 4 finish, playing the Champions League next season. Remember, we're not playing the Champions League, and I really think Manchester United will try to win a title, even if it's a domestic title.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. That is where we wrap it up. It has been a pleasure having you for the last 1 hour and 50 minutes. Thank you so much for all those who made this production a success. My director, Mr. Dennis there, and Major Minor Matters to do with sound, Sheila Graphics. And before even I call it a close, I know tomorrow, on Wednesday, there is it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. There is some rather very, fundamental things happening in Kenya, and that is exercising your democratic right. Mine is to wish you all the best, and please stay safe. Your brother remains your brother. Election comes and go. Kenya remain. Have a good night.